Hi everyone, it's Susan. So happy you stopped by my channel today. I'm continuing with questions and answers, and this is about magnetizing love and being the best you. How do you actually do it? So for those of you who come to this channel regularly, please push the subscribe button if you haven't already. Those of you that are new, if you like it, I would love to have you subscribe and be a part of my inclusive and very cool YouTube family. So this letter is from one of my followers. This is from Nina. And Nina has a very good question about magnetizing love. Nina writes, "Hi Susan, I love listening to your YouTube videos. The advice seems to come at the perfect timing and is so spot on." I love this. Thanks, Nina. Thank you for all you do. I often hear people talk about working on yourself to become the best version of yourself for your next partner. My question is, how do you actually do that? It sounds great in theory, but nobody actually talks about it in detail and what it actually means. Nina, this is great. You know, you're right. We don't break it down. And if you've been following my videos, you know my number one thing is I break it down and break it down and break it down, because that way it's repeatable and that way it's actionable. So here's what I have always done long before I was ever in this field. When a partnership would end, whether I ended it or the person ended it or we just grew apart and it was completely mutual, I remember journaling, which I was a handwriter. You know, this computer thing is rather new for me. That was my comfort level, and I would really analyze everything that happened in the relationship. I would start with the same things that I tell you guys to do. I'd start with what things worked for me. But mostly what I would do is diagnose the patterns of what I experienced, meaning how my partner interacted with me and how I chose to interact with them. And I would do a very self-revealing and honest diagnostic on myself, because I've always wanted to grow. And I've always wanted to learn. And I just, you know, you can't get that in a book. You've got to know yourself. They can tell you, know yourself, know yourself. But the way you know yourself is you take an honest look. You know, it doesn't need to be with a therapist. You just look at yourself and detail what you saw yourself do. How did you react to certain situations? Were you fair? Each relationship that I had, I found myself counterbalancing whatever happened in the last. So if I noticed that in one relationship I was correcting a person because they always did things that got them in trouble and got me in trouble and just made poor choices, if that was my active role, then I went to the opposite direction in the next relationship, hopefully to even it out. Also, that affects partner selection. You might want to look for somebody like, wow, that person really was very focused in this area and completely unaware in the emotional interaction. So I need to find somebody who's really good at understanding emotional intelligence, somebody that's on point and understands how to talk to me and how to communicate with me. So each time I was with a partner, and my relationships were mostly really, really agreeable and lovely people, but there'd always be something. And so I'd go back to the table and I would take a really careful look at my participation. And then I would say, how could I do this better? And I would think of what would I want somebody to do in that situation if I were on the other end of it. So I made corrections when I saw that I needed to make corrections. And sometimes they were hard. In the very beginning, I did this in college when I didn't really treat a guy well because I didn't know what it was like to be in love. And then the first time I had my heart broken, oh my goodness. From that point on, I have been so incredibly sensitive to my participation in somebody's life, because that's on me. If I don't know, I don't know. But if I know, there are no excuses. So that's why having impeccable behavior, regardless of what they're doing. So I would start to say, take a look at who you are. Take a look at how far the actions are and the patterns are from where you want to be. Number two, If you note a pattern of behavior that is a loop between you and your partner, let's say 3 times in a row, you've had a partner that you couldn't trust, that they would lie to you, they would not be honest. You need to diagnose that. 1, am I choosing people who are inherently incapable of telling me the truth? Then I need to make that correction. 2, is there something about me that my partners don't feel safe to be honest? Am I reprimanding? Am I controlling? Am I punitive in the way I speak to them? Because establishing really good communication and a safety net to be honest with each other is very important for the health of a relationship. So these are the diagnostics you do within yourself. So I hope this helps you. And Nina, that was a great, great question. If you want to work with me personally, happy to talk to you about this. You can chat me up on Magnifi, which is by the minute. You can book a session, which is 45 minutes, or spend the day with me in person. So take a look at those on my website, susanwinter.net. And everyone, thank you for your lovely notes, and thank you for your truly amazing support. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.